Thank you very much for this opportunity to engage on this timely subject matter. I think from the concepts that are being discussed, we are in the same wavelength, and I would like to hope that the process will take us forward in a smooth manner. So Africa is quite a big continent, and from this whole continent, the concept of participation is better broken down if it's in the regional economic communities rather than as a wholesale continent. Some voices are bound to be drowned. So a truly AI ecosystem in Africa requires meaningful stakeholder engagement, including people living with disabilities, civil society, the academia, among others, and also influencing policy. As you know, that practice is ahead of policy, and the development in technology itself is way ahead of regulation. Then there is an issue around data sovereignty and ownership because of the platforms which are leading the whole development of AI. And by the way, Africa is only 44% internet connectivity, hence the need to enhance data sovereignty, but also the infrastructure that anchors that data that is being developed. Then there is need to also to deal with developing an AI that is inclusive. The issue around the biases and how it is developed elsewhere, playing out in the continent. Then building capacity and fostering local expertise. That's one of the key areas, as you shall see in the consultative processes that led to the development of some of the regulatory processes. And then the domestication and localization of algorithms, as much as we would want, there is need for that capacity injection and ensuring that there is a boost in the level of algorithms that are powering the development of the entire ecosystem. That said, I think the main areas of our assessment in terms of review of strategies, weaknesses, and inclusivity in terms of the formulation of various stages in terms of regulatory frameworks, using case studies and also providing recommendations. In terms of existing strategy, I think the Smart Africa initiative by far is the biggest in terms of the consultative processes leading to policy formulation. The 22nd ordinary session of African Union in 2014 had 40 countries actually penning up to it, over a billion people being part to it. And the alliance has five key pillars, namely the issue around policy access, e-governance, and government, private sector, or entrepreneurship, and accordingly, the sustainable development. Then we have the five pillars in terms of the alliance stimulating what would anchor the growth of the continent. Hence, the broad base formulation being consultative in different areas through submissions and anchoring the manifesto development. This also builds around the concept of advocacy, capacity building, resource mobilization, communication, and innovation, to say the least. Then there is the South African example of the National AI Strategy, which develops a strategy pillar that is exemplary because of the economic power. The consultative process took quite a span, including highlighting key issues around talent development, the digital infrastructure, research and development, innovation and fairness, moving from province to province until now when the 2024, when the framework is appended to. Then in terms of the AU continental strategy, this by far is the biggest footprint of the continent's deliberate effort to come up with mechanisms. In November, then there was an OECD AU dialogue on moving from strategy to implementation, which anchors how expansive the process was in terms of seeking input from across the continent, coming up with the strategy and the global compact, which, according to the process, is now going to influence the regional economic group's development. Then the AI for development, by far, which is a research-led initiative funded by SIDA, with three key pillars around scaling up innovations, and the other one being supporting policy and research, think tanking and think doing. Then the strengthening of AI ecosystems as a fundamental enabler of economic growth. I also want to highlight the key recommendations from our paper, which is with the organizers, which then deals with the issue of prioritizing inclusive and meaningful stakeholder engagement, strengthening data sovereignty and ownership, fostering ethical and responsible AI development, but also strengthening regional and international collaborations. Above that, our hope is that this will strengthen Afrocentric AI identities from the indigenous knowledge systems, which will then contribute to the connecting the dots at global scale. Thank you.